Welcome back, everybody, to the Star Wars podcast, where we talk all things Marvel and Star Wars. Please take a moment to check our show notes to find our social media, merch, and more. Today, we are recapping episode 2 of season 3 of The Mandalorian, The Mines of Mandalore. So if you haven't seen the episode, I would get out of here. Now, I got some bad news for everybody. Tommy this week was kidnapped by a biomechanical spider, and he sent me off in his starfighter to go get some help here today. But we do have some incredible guests, and I'm super excited to have these guys. I've been following them on Instagram for a little bit. They do some incredible stuff. Eric Hell does some incredible art, and Isabella is an awesome cosplayer as well. So they're so full of life, so full of the Star Wars fandom, and they're also the hosts of the Punch It Chewie podcast. I'm going to bring them in now. Eric Hell, Isabella, how are you guys?
Hi.
Hello, good.
Doing
Thank you.
good.
Yes, we're happy to be here. Excited.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried to do my best to introduce you guys, but is there anything you'd like to tell the audience about yourself before we get started here?
You kind of nailed it, honestly.
Yeah,
I
we're
mean,
just nerds.
we're just nerds. Yeah, I mean, we started with our art with the pins, and then we just kind of started branching off to, Bella started doing her cosplay, and she started her TikTok and her own Instagram and YouTube stuff. Then we started the podcast, so like it's slowly just kind of become more and more stuff that we do.
Yeah.
A weird question. Do you guys have Star Wars tattoos?
No, we don't have
No.
any tattoos.
Okay. Are you against it?
No, not against it. Just like
I think I change my mind too often to get a tattoo.
yeah,
Like I'd love it maybe for 6 months, and then I'd be
Yeah.
like, why did I do this? I love
Yeah.
tattoos. Like I love them on other people.
yeah,
But I'm too like
indecisive. We're
Yeah,
both
indecisive,
Super,
yeah.
we're like, I don't know. Like it's a big decision, so I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't know what I would.
That's a
do.
question I like to ask people because it seems like, when you engross yourself this much, typically people end up with the tattoos, but I respect it.
we definitely have the commitment level
Yeah,
to get a
absolutely.
Star Wars tattoo, Like
Mhm.
but we're just
Yeah, we just.
not really tattoo people.
Okay, that's fair.
Do you have one?
I do. I'm not going to lift my shirt up, but I've got my name in Arabesh on my stomach, my middle
Oh,
name.
That's
sweet.
cool.
And then actually my favorite tattoo is actually a Marvel one. I've got Thanos' gauntlet on my arm.
Oh,
That's pretty
nice.
sick.
But I need a better Star Wars one because Star Wars has always been my first love. Like I love Marvel, but like this is my forte. Tommy's more the Marvel
Right.
guy. I'm the Star Wars guy.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
but yeah,
Those are
so
pretty great.
I want to get you guys' takes. We're very early into season 3 here of The Mandalorian. What have you
Yeah.
guys thought?
I mean, we've both loved it.
Yeah.
We've both loved it. I know. It's been like first episode blew us away. Like I know I was like, we got a little bit of everything in that first episode, and we even got new stuff. We got pirates. That was awesome. Then
Yes.
this second episode, my God, we completely blown away.
Yeah.
I mean, what's crazy is we were talking about the mythosaur was, I would say, one of our biggest, like, wildest theories that I would say that we had
Yeah.
for this season. And we were talking about this like in September of last year.
Like when the first trailer came out.
Yeah, and I was like, we were talking about like, oh yeah, it'd be cool to see a mythosaur, right?
Yeah.
Like I really wanted it,
Yeah.
but I was like, I don't know if we'd get it.
Yeah.
And then it happened, and so we've been living our best life this past like just what
Yeah.
it came out yesterday.
Yeah.
So we're loving it.
Yeah. No, I
But,
listened to your little preview podcast, and you totally hit the nail on the head with the mythosaur. I've got a lot of questions about the mythosaur, though. Like,
Yeah.
did you guys expect it to be as big as it was?
Like
Like, it's pretty huge. Like,
personally,
it's huge.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've always, because we've never really seen it anywhere, like not in comics or in shows or anything. I think the only time we've seen it was like the skeleton of it in like the original Marvel comics.
Gotcha.
That's the only, but me personally, I always kind of pictured it like enormous, right?
I think it makes sense.
It
Like
makes sense.
I thought it would be that big because it's
Yeah.
kind of like a kaiju. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
this great mythical monster.
Mhm.
So, but yeah.
But I mean, I also
a big
feel
boy.
like it looked huge, but it's probably even bigger than
Yeah.
we think.
We really only saw like his face.
Yeah,
like,
just
his
like
head.
My next question is, okay, so like I know, like I get a little confused because like apparently like people don't believe in the mythosaur. It's called a mythosaur, which I think the name's a little weird. It's like, what if we called like unicorns like fiction horses? You know, like
Yeah.
You're right.
I don't know.
Right.
Like I want him to get a name at least, like a nickname. I don't know, like the mythosaur. We got to work on it.
Yeah. I
Jerry.
agree. He needs a Jerry. No, yeah, that'd be cool. Maybe Grogu gives him like a nickname.
Maybe he has a name that Grogu telepathically can learn.
Ooh,
that's a
Ahsoka's good at that too. So
yeah,
true. I want to know how old it is.
right.
How long has it been down there? Like, is it from
Yeah.
those ancient times, or did it just, you know?
I think just based off of how much they've pulled from like Godzilla and kaiju movies, I feel like it was awoken by the bombing of the planet. So I feel like it was dormant. Like it went into hiding, right? Because the Mandalorians were trying to like
technically
kill them all.
They thought they were extinct.
Yeah, they thought they were extinct, but obviously we know there's at least one left. So I think it probably like, you know, he's like, okay, fine, I'll go into the caves and I'll live my life, you know, do my own thing. I don't need to be here where I'm not wanted. And then he was, you know, doing his own thing, and then the bombardment, because they bombarded the entire planet. It wasn't like a couple cities. Like the whole planet was crystallized. So I feel like that could have maybe awoken him. And that's very Godzilla. So as a kaiju fan, that's the answer I like. But sense. I don't know, maybe like it could be something else. I don't know.
No, that tracks. And you know, here's my next question, because like I want to know where we're going with this, right? Like, what is the, like, if I had to guess, you know, just like traditional storytelling here, our main hero is going to tame the beast and use it for good. But I think my question is like, you know, because like you're watching like Game of Thrones. I don't know if you guys are Game of Thrones fans, but Dany's taming the dragons and she has things that she wants to conquer, right? Like, and this feels a little bit like that, but I'm like, what are you gonna do with this? Maybe you guys disagree. Maybe you don't think that's gonna be a thing at all.
Well, I think like part of like this is kind of like how we started talking about the possible appearance of a mythosaur was specifically like what it would mean to the Mandalorian people if like one still existed, you know, because it's not just like this ancient, you know, mythical beast that they may or may not believe it ever existed, but it's also like the symbol of the Mandalorians, you know. So it's like right now at the current state of the Mandalorian people, like they're all over the galaxy, they're all divided, they're all fighting amongst each other, and it's like not only would it be like, yes, Mando has the Darksaber and he rightfully has earned it, but I don't think that is enough to unite the people, you know what I mean? Like I don't think it's enough to be like, oh, I'm holding this now. Yes, some of them would be like, oh, he's the new Mandalore, but there's also like the half kind of like when Bo disagreed that Maul should lead, like they're like, okay, no, I'm not gonna listen to you. So they were split down the middle. I feel like that would still be the case, but if they and she kind of like, I feel they've kind of been foreshadowing a little bit. If you hear like some of the lines, like season 1, they totally foreshadowed in the first episode when Quill is like, you know, your ancestors rode the great mythosaur, right? And they keep doing like little things like that. And now in this season, Bo reads the plaque and literally is talking about how Mandalore the Great tamed the mythosaur in order to unite the people. So it's like, now imagine if Mando has not just the Darksaber, but somehow tames and rides a mythosaur. And that, like that,
we
goes
ride
out.
At dawn.
Like all the Mandalorians hear about that. Like that's enough, I would say, to
unite all of them.
You know, exactly.
And it's also like, I see it as that would be like a good omen, right? So this mystical beast that they've, they like exterminated it, but they've also kind of worship it. Like it's kind of this weird thing that they do. Like, but like I feel like as a spiritual side to it, which Din's cult, like it's very like religion based or whatever, I feel like they would definitely see that as like a good omen of like, okay, like we can't ignore this sign. We found a mythosaur, it's still alive. If the mythosaur survived, we can survive as a people. So yeah, I really like all those like spiritual undertones of it. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, well, if you guys are down, I want to dive into the episode a little more
let's do it.
literally here. And we open on an old friend. Paley Moto is back. She's doing some shenanigans with this Rodian and the Jawas, but
scamming.
Yeah, doing Paley Moto things. But this is where Mando flies in. Grogu flips out. He's looking for the IG part. And she's like trying to pawn off R5 on him, like really selling, like she throws everything at the wall here. It's like, you know, half price, oil bath, the whole nine. Was she just like done with R5 at this point? Is that what's going on here?
It kind of seems like it. She's also seems like the type of person that's like, well, I mean, I need credits, so
she'd sell her friends for credits.
Okay. Are you guys like? Do you guys like Paley Moto? Because I'll be honest, of all the side characters, I don't know that she totally like. It's very hit or miss for me. Sometimes I'm like, this is a lot.
Personally, for me, I don't have a problem with her, but I also don't really. It's not like, oh my god, she's
excited
back.
to see her. Yeah,
it's just kind of like, you know, it's she has her moments. You know what I mean? Obviously, like Din getting his N1 was really cool. And like her involvement with that, I'm like, I appreciate it.
I think she's a fun character and that she kind of represents the audience, right? Because she'll be like, oh my god, the baby, or like, you know, like she'll do stuff that's kind of like, it is silly, you know, it is a little like kind of winking at the audience, but I think it's fun because you know, she's always so excited to see the baby. Everyone else is like, oh yeah, like it's a baby, whatever, but she always like, oh my god.
our friend Clint, he runs the Star Wars Daily Instagram account.
Okay.
He does not.
He hates her. He hates her.
He's not a fan. So every time she comes on, he's like, "Oh,
can I skip forward?"
Yeah.
Well, I think I asked because I think she's growing on me. Like, because I was I was there at one point, but like it was kind of like, wait, am I happy to see Paley Moto right now? So,
well, I feel like it's probably also because she's been part of some cool moments in the series, you know, that it's like at the beginning it is kind of like she's
like this loud lady with big hair and
but, you know.
Okay, so they do end up actually I had another question here because I was really excited last week at the possibility of IG-11 coming back, and it appears like that is not going to happen. Are you guys like? Here I am, like maybe I don't like Paley Moto so much, but like IG-11, like maybe that's my next tattoo because I love that guy.
Oh yeah. No, I do love the IG-11. I think it would be really cool to see him come back, but I also I don't know if I'd be upset if he didn't, because like his sacrifice meant a lot. You know, it's like and like look at the town, like they had him as like they pretty much made him like a statue. He's like
now he's not a statue.
Now
he's in
they
the
took
dumpster,
him apart.
But
I mean, they could put him back. I don't know. I feel like that there's sentiment there. You know? But,
maybe the I don't know the species name, but the Babu Fricks. Maybe as aliens. Maybe like in the background they could be like working on him. You know. Maybe we don't see it, but like he comes back and they're like, we fixed it, and he's not trying to murder the baby.
Well,
you know,
theory, he probably does come back because in the trailer we see Navarro kind of like under attack, which I'm guessing by the pirates, and maybe he's the one that like comes out right as they're about to like lose or something. And
what if he has a? Oh, okay, yeah.
You know,
I'm excited. We get really excited about things that are obviously not going to happen, but
our theory last week is that they would end up coming back to Navarro and they had ended up fixing IG-11, but he like took over the town and like
oh my god,
it's like in ruins again, and he's like sitting on the throne.
Everything's on fire.
Yo, anything could happen at this point.
I mean, maybe he wants revenge.
Okay, so next year, they are going to Mandalore now, and Mando's giving Grogu little lessons. I thought this was really cute,
Yeah.
especially how it pays
Yeah.
off as well, where he's kind of teaching him the system. He's showing him his home planet, teaching him about navigation, which will come into play later. But they do go to Mandalore, and they get R5 out of the ship to look around. Mandalore is very striking in this, and I love
Yeah.
how they pulled off everything going on here.
Mhm.
Also just really depressing, like having
Yeah.
watched Clone Wars and like being there and like seeing
It
the good
hurts.
times. It's very
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's a completely it's like completely it's like night and day. Like it's not
Yeah.
even like everything's just buried and destroyed. It is sad, but it's
Yeah.
it's a pretty cool environment.
It is
Looking-
like very dystopian.
Yeah.
Like
As a
yeah.
sci-fi setting, like
yeah.
it's sick as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight out of like Blade Runner for sure.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, this one R5, they end up losing signal of R5, and then Mando's like, all right, whatever, I'll do it myself. He gets out, and this is like straight out of a horror movie. I'm like, please don't do this, because something very clearly bad is about to happen. But this, he gets jumped right by these alien. I don't know, have we seen these guys before? She calls them allomites. I probably should have did my homework, but I didn't.
I don't
I think they're
we've-
new.
Yeah, I think they're new, but before we heard their name, I was telling her, I was like, it could be, I don't know. I was like, it could be like the ancient Tong race, which were like the original Mandalorian race. But they like went extinct, and they were like, they could talk, like they weren't like
Yeah.
like feral. But I don't know, maybe they're kind of like
Maybe they're the ones
a
that survived.
subspecies that like
Yeah.
lived underground. I don't know, but from the name, I think they're brand new.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the juxtaposition on this episode of Mando using the Darksaber, and then later on Bo-Katan using it.
Yeah.
He's still struggling a lot here
Yeah,
with these guys.
It's
yeah.
rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might be my favorite thing of like element of like the Darksaber or any saber of any like the fact that you have to like tame the thing.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and it's not like I don't know. It's not even like a horse. Like it's going to take you a very long time to become accustomed to this thing.
Yeah.
No, of course. Yeah. Like I feel like he's definitely like fighting it. It's because he doesn't want to accept that responsibility of it. That it's like giving him trouble. But like as soon as he does, I feel like we're gonna see some awesome scenes of him like kicking ass with it.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Okay, so a couple things happen here. They defeat these guys. He picks up R5. He finds out it's safe to breathe, and they end up diving into the Civic Center. And a couple different things happened out here. There's a lot of different creatures, but my favorite, which I love, like this is what I love about Star Wars. Okay, like I'm looking at my notes here about what happened in the episode, and like my favorite thing is when I don't know how to type what I'm looking at. Right, like there's some moments. Like we come across the spider, right? He comes out of the ground, it like takes him. But like even later, like we find out that it like jumps out as a person and then like his head detaches. And like my notes are like giant spider shoots out man and then becomes little spider and little spider gets back in big spider. Like that's Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
I love it.
What did you guys think of this guy?
You were not
a
fan at first.
Okay, I don't like honestly. Okay, I don't do well with like gore or like I can do suspense, but like gore is like just for me. So I thought he was really cool because he's like a cyborg, right? He's like kind of got this organic brain, eyes, whatever situation, but then he's in like this mechanical body, right? So I was like, that's cool. But the whole like juicing Din as he was alive. That was not cool. I was like, I like Star Wars because it's just pew pew and like slicing people, but like it's cauterized, there's no blood, there's no splatter, there's no nothing gross. So that was like, I really liked it because like it was cool, something different, but like, not the juicing thing. I don't know. I didn't like that.
Not the juice. I didn't. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed her reaction to it too. But like it was cool having that feeling of like horror in Star Wars, know, like we were talking about this a little while ago. It's like that's something I feel like we need more of in Star Wars is that horror element,
Mm-hmm.
because it does well, like, and it's cool.
Yeah,
and
it
it's like,
translates well.
and this was very much of like a sci-fi horror that I want to see more. Like, I wanted more of this thing, whatever he is.
Yeah,
But it was cool. I dug it. You know, it was cool.
it was cool.
Yeah. You know what like physically, I realize, like, I don't know if y'all are into the High Republic, but the concept art of the Nihil, like, it looked very similar to that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
See where
Who
this goes.
Who knows how long he's been down there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's see here. What happens next? They end up. Okay, yeah. So Grogu tries to save him. He's trying to pull him out of the thing. The dude catches him, and Din is like, "Go get Bo." And of course, with his knowledge of navigation, thanks to earlier, he goes and talks to Bo-Katan. Which I want to get you guys' takes on this. First and foremost, I got to say up front, I'm probably going to say it every single week. I'm hashtag Team Bo all the way. I hate the armor. She's a liar. She's mean. She manipulates and gaslights. And Bo-Katan's right about everything. Okay. With that being said, when Grogu pulled up here, she says, "I'm going to settle this once and for all." And I've been really worried about this, guys. I'm really worried that these two are going to come to blows. Do you see that as a possibility?
I definitely think it's a possibility. But I don't know. I have a feeling that, like, I love Bo, and all respect to Bo, and I agree with what you said, but I don't know if she deserves that position, you know, of leading Mandalore. You know, I feel like Din, especially because of that aspect of him not wanting it, you know, kind of like you know, Jon Snow dynamic of like, no, I don't want it. So there, like, that right there, I think it's like, okay, that has potential, right? And now, you know, how serious he's taking it. You know, Din is now approaching the liberate, or like retaking Mandalore, not as a like for me kind of thing. You know, it's like for our people, you know, to have our home back, and like it's more of like a selfless act, right? He's approaching it in like in that way, and I feel like
not a tyrant.
Yeah, not exactly.
Yeah,
but I feel like when it comes down to it, whatever happens, whatever whatever Bo and Din are gonna have to go through, whether it be fighting the Mythosaur or, you know, whatever else it may be, I feel like Din is gonna end up proving to Bo, and Bo is gonna have to be honest with herself and go, he deserves it, you know?
Yeah.
And instead of coming to blows and, you know, one of them dying, I feel like she'll be like, you know, I'll be a part of the cabinet that runs everything.
Yeah, like our new government.
Exactly.
Like...
I don't know, something like that. But I still think it's possible that they could, you know.
I don't think it has to end with one of them killing each other or the other, whatever. Like, I feel like, at least story-wise, I think it would be much more interesting, because even in just this episode, we see Bo really like open up, and she is not someone that like shares her emotions often, but like when she's down there, it's just her and Din, you know. It's not like a bunch of other Mandalorians. I feel like when there's other Mandalorians, she's trying to be tough and not show weakness and whatever, but with Din, it was like, I feel like she was kind of opening up. She's talking about her family, she's talking about her past, which is obviously very traumatic and like still fresh, you know. It's like it's those wounds are never going to heal pretty much, right? But she was like really opening up to him, and it looked like from when they finally get down into the waters, she's like teasing him, right? She's like, oh yeah, like the Mythosaur, if you believe that, and like whatever. She's pretty much like mocking this whole like the mystical side of their past or their culture or whatever. But once he gets in the water, you can kind of see her like it looks like she respects what he's doing. Like, I don't believe in the same thing that you do, but like I respect it, and I respect you for being so committed to it, right? So I feel like those little moments are like, they're kind of slowly like working on her, and she's kind of like, I think, starting to realize that it's not like her way or the highway. Like, if she wants to be a part of Mandalore's future, she's gonna have to let go of some things and like you know, embrace other things and not just be like, because before it was just like, it's my way. Like, she disagreed with her sister. Because she disagreed with her sister died. So like, she's starting to realize like, oh, it's not just the Bo-Katan, like it's not just Bo's world, right? Like there are other people involved.
I love this. There's like I hope they do this now. Like a little maturing arc for Bo-Katan.
Right?
That's how it feels to me, because if not that, then someone's just gonna have to kill her. You know, and like I don't want her to die. I think she's a really cool character. I think there's like a beautiful character development that could be told there, for someone to go from. I mean, that's what makes it so interesting, right? Because like they both want the same thing, but they go about it a different way, right? It's kind of like, oh my god, Professor X. And
yeah, Professor X and
Magneto, yeah. It's like that kind of dynamic where like they both want the same thing, but two polar opposite approaches, and right, and it's like you want this, but if you lose yourself along the way, it wasn't worth it, right? Once you have it, it's like, oh, I'm alone. I betrayed everyone I knew.
Or everyone died.
It's like we have Mandalore and there's 3 Mandalorians left. Like that is not the goal.
And a mythosaur.
You know? And a mythosaur. And a little green frog baby. You know, so I don't know. That's how I see it. I think there's a lot more in store for Bo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and maybe I can take away a lesson for this, because I feel like I like Bo-Katan because I relate to Bo-Katan in that I'm stubborn and controlling. So now I know if I don't mature, someone's going to come kill me. So
watch out.
I'm thankful we've got this sorted out. So they are going to go back here to get Din, and there's let's see, do they go straight into action? Yeah, they basically do. She fights this guy, she gets the Darksaber, stabs the dude. Of course, kind of like I said earlier, my notes are so messed up. Like I can't even like read what I said, but yeah, she does the thing.
Yeah. It was
very cool scene. Yeah.
It was cool seeing that too, because I don't know if you noticed, but like kind of her moves, she kind of took that, like his crab form down kind of the same way that Obi-Wan took down the Acklay in the Geonosis arena. Right. She like took out the hook, the hook things, and then went. So I don't know. I thought it was cool. I was like, that's what he did.
Yeah. I love that. There was actually another one here. She also met up with one of those troll things and killed one of them too. So I just love to see Bo-Katan in action here.
It was a really bad. She had a really badass like sequence, like going into the mines and finding Din. Like she's
and she
badass,
wasn't afraid of anything.
No.
Like she was just like, yeah, it's just another day. Like, the baby was so scared, and she was like, eh.
Yeah, even when it's time to go into the mines, it's like she wants to leave, but it's not because she's afraid. She's just like, this is a waste of time. Like, it's not like she's worried about anything bad happening. She's just like, well, I guess I'll do that. So this she saves Din. Din wakes up here and she's cooking up some pog soup. Have we seen pog soup? Is this new?
Pog soup? I don't think. I think it's new. I think it's
new.
I've never heard of it.
Pog. Yeah. We like Star Wars food over here, so I'm always trying to keep track and figure out.
I thought that was a cool cultural thing for them to include, right? So this is like a traditional dish that the Mandalorians would eat, and it's like, you've never tried that, It's like, I thought that was funny. I really enjoy how much we're getting to see of the culture, and not just like the religious side or the stuff we're used to seeing, right? Like the armor, like we know that the armor is a big deal, but like to see the little things, like the soup that
like little details,
like daily life, right?
Like it feels so real.
It's like your mom never cooked this for you. Yeah. I think that's cool.
I always like it too when they show Din actually eating or drinking, when he just like tilts his helmet back a little bit.
I'm like,
especially because some people like I've seen this comment all the time, like, oh yeah, well, how do they drink? I was like, well, you see how.
Okay, my question is though, like, hypothetically, since he already took his helmet off, shouldn't he just like leave it off until he goes and does the whole ritual, and then once he puts it on, he can leave it on? You know what I mean? Because you already took it off. You already like ruined your honor or whatever. I know it's more of like a.
It's like I don't want to keep doing.
Yeah,
it,
like
know?
I don't want to keep sinning. Sinned one, you know. I just thought it was funny that he's like literally like this eating soup with a helmet on. Like,
he needs a straw.
He does need a
Beskar straw.
Oh, Beskar straw.
No. You know, actually, I don't want to get too like, you know, I'm not judging anybody. I'm not particularly religious. I was raised Catholic though, and I just laugh so hard because that's what I used to do. Because you go to Catholic confession to atone for your sins, but I always knew like, I'm going to confession later, so let's see if I can sneak in a couple more sins.
No, we were raised Catholic too. We're not super religious, but I mean, like our families. So we get it. We get the Catholic guilt and
yeah.
Okay, cool. So we get each other. Gotcha. So this is where again I kind of like her reaction where she's like Din kind of like puts his foot down. He's like, no, I'm going down there. She's like, all right, fine, let's go. I'll show you the way. They're gonna go in there. There's a lot of conversation here. You kind of touched on some of it. Kind of talking about her backstory a little bit. About her dad as well. We also get the scene here where she's like reading the plaque about Mandalore the Great, which I mean, at this point I was like, there's definitely a miss, like kind of like I've always been a little more like I don't know if we're actually gonna see it, but like at this point I'm like, there's a mythosaur in here. So
yeah. That
I think that we realized that too.
Yeah,
we're like,
as
come
soon
on.
as she said, we were like,
they lived in the caves, so you're like, okay, so where is he?
Yeah.
It's been like I feel like the lesson of the season thus far is like don't go near large bodies of water. Like I feel like it's constantly, I mean that's kind of the thing in Star Wars altogether. I think.
Don't go near the water.
You don't ever see like people at the beach in Star Wars. So
no. And well, we saw Cassian at the beach and he got arrested.
Okay,
so.
you're right.
So yeah, there's only bad news.
Good call. So yeah, this is he gets in. What is this the creed he's reciting or whatever as he goes in? But he's interrupted and pulled down. So was it the mythosaur that pulled him down? Like I was a little confused about.
I wasn't really sure.
I think it was. So I was just talking. I went to the comic shop this morning and I was talking to the guy at the comic shop about it, and we were. I was like, no, because his theory was it the armor that would just weight him down? He didn't know there was like no step.
Like he slipped. What do you mean?
No, because
that's all it was.
It's like, wait, what? He just slipped and fell to the bottom because his armor weighs like 1,000 pounds.
But that's what I was saying. I was like, I don't think so because the whole thing about Beskar is that it's super durable but super light. So it's like it's not weighing him down. I think it was personally. I think it was definitely the mythosaur pulling him down. But what I can't get around is why did it just like. How did it just like nibble?
Take a little nibble, but not take a foot. Like
exactly.
He was fine, right?
He
didn't lose any limbs.
I don't know.
It's like this little piggy.
That's a good question because I didn't understand that either. And it's not like I don't like the mythosaur doesn't have like tentacles or like something to like grab him with.
Maybe it does.
Maybe
the tail. I don't know because we
maybe the tail.
We've only ever seen
That's
the head.
Possible.
You know.
That's true. It could be the tail. Like he just like wrapped the tail around him and pulled him down. Because I don't know.
There's a couple things that I haven't mentioned because I try not to nitpick too much, but there's like a lot of stuff in this episode where I'm like, I don't know if that totally makes sense. But here's the thing, that's Star Wars for me. I love that. Like,
it's sci-fi fantasy, so they can get away with
There's room for silliness.
Yeah.
My favorite was when like he spends all his time trying to get a droid to check out the land, and he's like, all right, actually I'm just gonna pressurize my helmet and do it myself. I'm like, what the hell? You could have done that the whole time?
Yeah, exactly. He's like, yeah, it's funny. I love those little moments too.
Yeah.
They're just funny to pick at.
Yeah.
I totally skipped over this, but I definitely wanted to talk about it because this is another thing I love about Star Wars is like, you know, as a kid, I wanted a lightsaber and, you know, I wanted Han Solo's blaster. Bo pulled out something here that I want now. It was a light ball. Did you see this thing? It's just like a floating little globe of light.
I think I missed that.
I don't think I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
you
an
have to go
orb of
back.
light.
Okay. Yeah. we
Yeah,
have to go
it's
back.
like a little sphere. It's like about this big, and she like pressed
Okay.
it, and it floated up, and it like followed them.
Oh my god!
How did
yeah,
we
I
not
didn't-
see
I
that?
You
didn't
gotta
see
check
that.
that.
That's so
I
cool.
will-
Like that's awesome.
I watched it twice, and I didn't notice it till the second time. It happens really
Okay.
quick.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We'll have to watch
Yeah,
again.
yeah. We've only seen it once.
It's so good. I want to watch it again.
yeah. Well,
Well, okay, guys. That is what else do we talked about the Mandalorian a lot already.
yeah.
Anything else you have on the episode that I skipped over? Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, like, it was awesome. The whole thing was just a wild ride. Oh, it was really cool seeing, or like, kind of seeing and Pelly talking about like Bunta Eve,
Oh
like
yeah.
that. Those little like, her throwing that in there was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because like, we've only ever seen that in episode 1,
Yeah.
and like, I was like, oh, are we gonna see maybe an old poster of like, the only human that's ever won?
Yeah.
I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. It was a little
It was
nod.
cool.
I think it was tasteful though. I
Yeah, it
feel
was
like
tasteful.
if they did that, it might have been a little too much. Like Anakin's my favorite character, so I would love to see it.
Yeah.
But I know people would have been like, So I thought it was fun that they were just like, really, you're gonna make me work on like a holiday,
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they made it low key, and then we just saw like the fireworks and stuff. But something I do want to talk about, because we haven't really like not come up with an answer, but like we're not really sure, and I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. But the way that the is there a name for that cyborg? Do we know?
I think, but I didn't.
So
see.
like the cyborg spider guy. So he uses Beskar to set like the trap, right? So there's like that helmet, and then like Din picks it up, and then the trap like springs on him. And then we know that he like kind of cooks, or like, whatever, like cooks the Mandalorians out of their armor. I wonder if he does anything with the armor. Like, is he selling it? Is he like melting it down? Like, or does he just want to eat? Like, is that he just trying to eat, or like does he keep the armor?
Does he do anything with the armor?
Or
maybe it's offerings for the mythosaur.
Could be.
Maybe
I like
so
to
it leaves him alone.
Yeah, I like to think he's like a little tinkerer, because he's got all these like gadgets and gizmos, his body, and like how he's like he's
Okay.
constructing things down there, and like he needs the precious metals to make his like different suits and stuff. I don't know. That's kind of
Okay. That makes sense.
That does make sense. Yeah.
My other thought was like maybe he's selling it to the I forget the guy's names up top, the troll things.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Maybe he's like bartering with those guys. I don't know.
He could be.
Maybe.
Because like he has to know that it's Beskar, right? Like the significance of Beskar.
True. Yeah.
I don't think he just
yeah.
wouldn't know.
But also like, no, yeah, he, whatever it is, it has to know.
Yeah.
But also like, how many people are there around for him to like be selling?
Yeah, that's the
like,
question. Is like,
I don't think there's a very big market.
does he have a market? Yeah, does he do like a farmer's market and sell like scrap of Beskar? Where did you get this stuff? Don't worry about it.
I was just laughing because you guys have been switching back and forth from he to it.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what to call it. It's like
I guess
That's the
well,
great.
yeah.
we don't know his gender.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Is it alive? Is it a machine?
Well, it's got to
Yeah.
be smart, right? Because it's
It's sentient.
yeah, it made whatever, like the suit.
Yeah.
Is.
I
want a backstory. I want to know.
Yeah.
We need
Who
a
was
one.
he
We need a
before he
one-shot
was-
comic.
A cyborg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's because my thought was like this is pretty similar to Grievous. I was like, maybe this is like
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
Grievous's organs like pulled all this together. I don't know. It's a stretch. I mean, look what happened to Darth Maul.
Yeah. Totally.
Ooh.
No, it was cool seeing like the eye and like the organic part of it.
Yeah.
Of him,
It's very creepy, but cool.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I have something I want to do with you guys here.
Yes.
It's a Star Wars staple. We typically do it at the start of a season, but we haven't done it yet. I want to do a cameo draft with you guys.
Ooh, okay.
So
That's
I've
fun.
actually texted Tommy already because I knew I wanted to do this, and he's texted me his picks for cameo. We all four of us will have 2 picks each. So somebody that's like not in the marketing that you think is going to show up in the show, and if it happens, you win the cameo draft. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. But here's the thing. I don't know who's going to go first. Y'all are guests, so I'm going to let you guys go, but then you have to decide amongst yourselves.
Okay.
Okay.
right.
So
Yeah,
who wants to pick first?
You go first.
I'm putting you totally on the spot, which I apologize for. But that's
I will
also
go
fun.
first.
It's okay.
Is this like who we'd like to see, or like
you want to
most
win?
Realistic.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
it could be both too, I guess.
I mean, we were right about the mythosaur, so
were right about the
maybe our crazy ideas might be on the money.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna say Han Solo. I feel like we could see, because in this era, it's like, okay, Han is adjacent to Luke, right? They're best friends. Luke's already involved. And then Han and like Leia is running the New Republic. We already know, like, they're establishing the New Republic. So like could make sense. I don't know, maybe with all the pirate stuff, maybe it's like this old guy that he knows, or like someone, like they need reinforcements, maybe they call on Han and Chewie, and maybe we don't see them, but like maybe we see the ship, or like we hear them over like the radio or whatever. I don't know. I think that could be cool. And I think it was John who said there's going to be a cameo that's just as big as Luke Skywalker. So I'm like, like Han Solo, like who else? Like,
well, I have a follow-up question. So is it going to be CGI Han Solo, or is it going to be Alden? Alden Air, what's his name? Alden Air. The other
Alden.
If I had to guess, I would say CGI, just because they're doing the CGI for Harrison in the new Indy film. And we've already seen it, and it looks phenomenal. Like, it already looks so much better than what we saw like in season 2. Like, the technology and the artists are only getting like better and better at it. So I think if they're going to bring in Harrison, or Harrison's character, I think they would do CGI. But
Alden portrays like his younger self, so it's like,
so they would have to age him, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, do we want to age an actor, or do we want to de-age an actor? And
that we're already
like,
de-aging.
Yeah. So, and I mean, Lucasfilm is, it's the same. It's the same company. So Harrison probably doesn't even know that he came in and worked on it, right? Because he doesn't care. He just shows up and does what he needs to do. They're like, was it for Indy? Was it for Star Wars? He's like, I don't know. I just came in, read a line, and left. So
yeah, John Favreau's like, can you send those face files over, please? We're ready to
just borrow those real quick. So yeah, that's gonna be my first pick, Han Solo.
Cool. All right, Eric Hill, you're up. And for the record, I feel like I have my picks that I'm running through in my head. I think they're very safe picks, so don't feel
okay. All right, we get 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, 1 for now. We'll cycle back.
Okay. So, if we're gonna go wild, then I'll throw out our wildest theory.
No.
It's so we were theorizing that for the longest time.
I think I know where this is going, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. Then
I think I know.
Yeah. For the longest time, we were thinking, okay, who could have saved Grogu, right? Mm-hmm. For the longest time, I was a big like Mace Windu advocate, right? Like it makes sense. It makes sense, right? And then just like in one of our episodes, we were like, wait. Ahmed Best plays a Jedi. In the Jedi Temple Challenge, we've never seen him in we see him in his show, but not like a, in-universe show. I don't know,
like a Disney Plus
series or something like that, or even a movie. We've never seen him. So, at first it was kind of a joke because we were like, yeah, maybe Jar Jar saves Grogu.
Yeah.
and then from there we started thinking about it more, and he worked. I mean, he works with Padawans as they go through their Jedi trials. So right there, that makes
he runs the daycare.
He kind of has access. He would know of this youngling that has incredible powers, who lives over 900 years of which is realistically the best chance at that time for the Jedi to survive.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know. I feel like it makes sense not just in the story, but also like behind the scenes and sentimental wise.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it could be cool to see Kelleron Beck, Ahmed's
Yeah.
character. So that'll be my first pick. We'll see. I don't know.
Well, so I've talked. I mean, I've heard you guys talk about Jar Jar in the past, and like I'm gonna send you guys a link after this. Because if you ever listen to a podcast of ours, I need you to listen to this one.
Okay.
Okay.
What we did was we did an investigative deep dive on Jar Jar Binks and talked about how we could bring him back into the Star Wars universe. And it's like my passion project. So
I love that.
I'm gonna make
Yes.
listen to it.
No,
It's
you're
kinda
not
like,
forcing us. We're excited.
do you guys know what Serial is? The podcast?
I'm not familiar.
It's kind of like true crime, but it's kind of in that
Okay.
style.
Okay.
So
Oh, okay.
all right.
I'll
You've piqued my
Yeah.
interest.
Okay. All right. So I'll let Tommy go for it next. I'm not gonna take his pick anyways because he texted me his list. But
Okay.
his first pick is Ahsoka.
Okay.
Which yes, and I'm on the same boat with him. I think that there needs to be some connective tissue between the upcoming Ahsoka series, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna go the opposite direction. I think we've got enough Ahsoka before the show comes. I think that there's a better chance of somebody that has connections to Bo-Katan, and that could also show up in the Ahsoka show if you listen to the news. Sabine. I'm going to pick Sabine.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I see it. Yeah,
Gotcha.
Sabine would totally be at Mandalore.
Yeah,
when
like
they're taking it back.
why
Like,
wouldn't she be
would-
there? She's like, I have like a yoga class in like 30 minutes. I don't know if I'll be there for.
I think you're
us
right.
taking
Doing an
her
art
back.
exhibition.
Yeah.
Too big for that.
It'd be Coruscant at the Museum of Art.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm going to throw it back to you now, Isabella, though. So for your
Okay.
second and final pick.
Second and final pick. I mean, I wish I could be the like solid, like most likely to happen, but I just love like pretending, or not pretending, but like I love the outlandish, like, guesses. So I mean, this isn't too outlandish because we know the Ahsoka series is coming, but I think it would be really cool. Maybe we don't see him, but like
You're taking my pick.
sorry.
Oh, no.
It's alluded to, and this could even be like how the season ends, and like setting up into the Ahsoka series. But I would love to see Thrawn's ship come out of hyperspace above Mandalore, and it just parks itself up there. You look up, you can see like, because this ship is so significantly like decorated. You just like look like maybe they beat whoever they need to on the planet's surface. And Thrawn knows this the whole time, right? He's like a war strategist, like he's like a god amongst like ants when it comes to his strategy. But he's like, I'll let the Mandalorians kill each other, right? Because they're all fighting, all the cults and the different sects are fighting over each other. So he waits until they, do all that. And then he just like rolls up and just parks himself. And then maybe we hear music that alludes to him, or maybe we see him from behind, like he's on the bridge. He's all like poised and whatever. Maybe he has his little Isela Miri. I don't know. Like it would be like, oh my God. But I think it makes sense because the Ahsoka series, I think, is coming out in September. So like we're only gonna have a few months like when this show ends in between. And I think that would be a really great way to kind of lead into this next series and maybe get people who haven't watched Rebels to be like, hey, okay, you need to watch Rebels, or you need to read the Thrawn trilogy. Like, do your homework, because obviously all the new projects, you don't have to do all that like background story, but it helps, right? And it usually makes it even better when at least watch Rebels, right? Because we know Ezra, Sabine, like the whole
Ghost Crew
is gonna be there. So yeah, I'm gonna say Thrawn. Maybe he doesn't like fight or whatever, but like maybe we just see his ship and then like him from behind. That would be really cool. I would be like so yeah, that's my pick.
You mean my pick, but whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see who would show up. Who could show up?
Who would take advantage of the chaos?
Thrawn.
No, but like who else?
Who else?
Oh, I know. Well, no, I'm not gonna say it because I already said mine, but
Yeah.
I'll let you come to your own conclusion.
I don't know. The only thing coming to my mind, and I feel like it's super obvious, is Boba Fett.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was my
Boba
pick.
Fett.
That was
Yeah.
She took mine. I took yours.
What is this,
sorry.
musical chairs?
Well,
it makes sense.
At least one of these has to be right.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
of course.
I don't know. We do a lot of cameo drafts, and like most of the time, there's just no winner. So,
Really?
Yeah. We're usually way off, so that's always fun. Tommy has a good one. I'm letting Tommy go first here. I'm kind of jealous. I wish this was on my list, but I really like it. With the presence of pirates here, he's picking Hondo.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I was just gonna say, but I was like, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
But I think I love the idea of like all of the pirates gathering and like they're all angry, whatever. They want to get their revenge, so they like get everyone together and they go to Navarro to like do whatever, right? Get their revenge. And I just picture Hondo having nothing to do with it. Like no one knows he's there. But as all like the chaos breaks out throughout the city, he goes onto the pirate ship and just steals whatever he wants. And then he just like jumps and he like leaves. Like I would, oh my God, I would love that so much. Just him being a little shit, you know? Like he's like, I'm going to take advantage of the situation. Like, I don't see your name on that crate, do I? And then he just like takes it and goes. Like,
you mean my crates?
Yeah, our crates.
No.
He would just steal the ship. I don't know what you're talking
No, yeah,
about.
if I'm gonna steal something.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now I'm at a complete loss because the two people that I would have picked are gone now, and I have another one, but I don't want to I want to be a little more diverse with my. I don't want to pick another Rebels person. I'm stuck between two. I'll just go because nobody can steal my picks now, thankfully. But, I'm stuck between two. One's a little more bold, and it's like again, I want to pick another Rebels person, but I would say Hera. But the other one is, and a wishful thinking because I love Bill Burr, Miggs Mayfield. I would love to see him come back again.
Oh, that'd be cool.
But he's kind of, it just doesn't see it. I don't see how they get in touch with him again.
True.
So I guess I'll go with Hera. I would be very happy to see it. So
it's very possible. It's very possible.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, cool guys. That is. I'll recap real quick. Isabella has Han Solo and Thrawn. Arakel has Ahmad Best as a Jedi. Boba Fett as well, and Tommy has Ahsoka and Hondo, and I have Sabine and Hera. So good picks. We will see how this goes.
Yeah. we'll have to come back on if we get one right.
Yeah.
So we can like talk about like, oh my God, we were right.
Yeah. Well, you'll have your winners podcast. Don't worry. So one more thing here as we're about to close out. I did give you the heads up. I like to do recommendations and tell people about things that we've been doing that are not necessarily Star Wars or Marvel related, but it can be if you want. But it can be a TV show, a movie, a book, anything you want to leave the people with. And as I'm saying this out loud, I realize I didn't come prepared with my own recommendation. So do either of you go first while I think about mine?
You go first.
Me go first?
Yeah, you're the one that reads the most.
I mean, this is probably like I'm probably more behind than most people on this, but I've been an EU fan my whole life, but mostly I read like the comics. Not a lot of the novels, even though I had a lot of them. Comics just always attracted me.
It's easy to read a comic. Like, it's quick.
Yeah.
You're not like committing as much to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but I just started I took a deep dive back into the EU with the Darth Bane novels, the Darth Bane trilogy. My God, I cannot believe I waited so long to read them. I read the 3 of them in how long?
In like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And he doesn't
I don't read novels.
No. So he was really in it.
So and I recommend that one because we have the Acolyte coming up next year soon. And the Darth Bane novels give such an amazing in-depth of not just Darth Bane, but the Sith as a whole and how they work, how they used to work before Darth Bane, and how he saw that and said, no, like there's a big reason why the Jedi run the galaxy and we're over here still struggling.
Mhm.
And it's because we're trying to copy what they do, and we all just betray each other, and we're animals, right?
Yeah.
Like there's no, there's no structure to this, so-called structure, right?
Yeah.
So I've literally never picked up a book and just not put it down like that, and it was with 3 of them.
Yeah.
So because we're getting the Acolyte, and if you read the Acolyte, like the synopsis, it looks like it's a very similar, it's gonna touch on a lot of the same themes.
Yeah.
And I mean, it is that lineage of Darth Bane, of the rule of 2. So I think it's gonna be very relevant. And I already know that after reading those, watching that show is gonna be like really, really cool. And they aren't canon, but Darth Bane is. So
yeah.
I especially now with like Dave and John and like the new live action series, they're pulling a lot from the EU, from the source material. So I have faith in that. I don't need them to, but like I feel like they're gonna stick true to that.
Yeah.
So that's my, if you're looking to jump into the EU and you are wondering what books there are that could be cool to read, if you're a fan of the Sith,
yeah,
those are amazing reads. Yeah.
It's my biggest blind spot as a Star Wars fan. I'm not super entrenched in the EU, and like I hear about it, I'm like, that just sounds like so cool. Like, so I'm gonna keep. I hate reading though. Just like maybe is there audiobooks? I don't know.
There's
I
audiobooks.
think so. Yeah.
Look. Honest to God, I hate reading as well. That's why I love comics, is because they're pictures.
Exactly.
But I swear, I started reading Darth Bane. I could not put it down. It's so good.
Love that. Isabella, do you have anything?
I will probably recommend the newer Darth Vader comic series. It's just called Darth Vader, right?
It's the current Darth Vader run.
Yeah.
There's like 3 volumes of different Darth Vader.
It's really confusing, but it's the most recent one.
The current one.
I think there's 35 issues right now.
Right now, yeah.
Right now.
Like 30
so you got 35 or so. It is really, really good. It's set. I'm not sure the exact.
It's between 5 and 6.
Yeah, I'm not sure the exact timeline, but it's between 5 and 6. And we get to see Padme's handmaidens again, which I love. Padme. I love the handmaidens. I really wish we got to see more of them. We really only see them in episode 1. But they're all so badass. They're all like specialized in what they all have like a specialization. But they're all like highly trained operatives. And
they protected the queen.
They protected the queen. And even now they are trying to, I wouldn't say revenge, because that sounds more like rooted in a bad place, but they want answers, right? They want to know how Padme died, because they don't like, a lot of them didn't even know that she was pregnant. So because they kind of like, there's a few of them that go off on their own and do their own thing after episode 1. So it's a really interesting series. There's a lot of flashbacks for Vader, especially with everything that comes up with knowing that he has a son again, or knowing that he has a son. It changes everything for him. So there's a lot of flashbacks, and then we get to spend a lot of time with Sabe. And she's kind of like the leader of the remaining handmaidens, and Vader and her develop a very interesting relationship, because again, they both want the same thing. Vader's trying to use her to get what he wants. She's trying to use him to get what she wants. And it's really good. Like, it's really cool. So I really recommend that. All the artwork is really cool. The covers are beautiful. If you like comics, I mean, even if you don't like comics, I feel like it's a great one to start with.
I would say so.
Because it has obviously like OT, because it's Vader, and it's set in that time, but it has a lot of prequel elements. So if you like prequels, you'll love it. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I get very confused with the Star Wars comics as well. I've read the Darth Vader at some point. I feel like they like did a run and then stopped and then started again, right? I think I might have read the old one because I don't know that.
Yeah,
Again,
there's a lot of things, and then they'll also do crossovers. So there'll be
Yeah.
like different comic series
But it's the
that'll
same.
they'll come together and converge in these like comic events. So I totally understand
Yeah.
being
there
confused.
there was the one from 2015, just again titled Darth Vader, and that was between episodes 4 and 5. And then there was volume 2 of Darth Vader, which was after episode 3, which was cool. It was right after episode 3.
Baby Vader,
which was cool. We see him get his lightsaber crystal and stuff like that. And then now the current run is this volume 3, that is between episodes 5 and 6, which I think that one's been probably the best.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'd say best, but it's got one of the most interesting takes and like concepts that they've kind of played out that I feel have worked very well.
And there's some new characters in there too that are cool that are also in other series. So it's nostalgic, but it's also fresh. So that I think it has a good balance of both.
It's cool, but they do make it very confusing.
So through all of that, I did not come up with like a really good. I came up with an okay recommendation. But since we're all doing Star Wars recommendations, I will stick on the path, and I'm going to recommend. I got this pop, a Bo-Katan pop on Amazon for $3. It's on sale right now. I think it's still on sale. Yeah, really? It's $3. Like I looked up, like I was just at work, like, and I don't work, so I hope my boss doesn't listen. But I was just on Amazon. I was like Star Wars toys, and like this was up there. It's $3.
Okay,
mommy Bo-Katan.
We'll have to grab one
if you need.
I might just get it right now. Yeah,
so
$3.
Awesome.
Yeah. I hope it hasn't ended though. It was definitely like a sale. So it was there like 3 days ago, and I checked the day after that, and it was there. But I don't know. It might be
sweet.
So
well, we'll check it.
Yeah, we'll check it out.
All right, guys. Hey, again, thank you so much for doing this. It's such a blast to talk to you and meet you guys as well. I want to give you guys the chance to tell people all about the stuff you got going on, the podcast, the pins, the TikToks, anything else you want to plug.
Yeah,
for sure. No, yeah. So, please feel free to check us out. Punch It Chewie Press on all platforms, and Punch It Chewie podcast as well. We do a bunch of fun stuff. We're doing a lot of conventions coming up this month.
Yeah.
We're going to be at WonderCon this month. That I forget the dates, but
I have them.
So yeah,
that's in Anaheim.
Yeah, it's in Anaheim. So Anaheim, California. So
that's the 24th through the 26th.
Yeah, so we're going to be at WonderCon with a bunch of new pins, a bunch of new artwork. We're actually sharing our booth with another friend of ours who is also a pin artist, BB Create. And then after WonderCon, the weekend after that, we're doing C2E2 in Chicago. So we have some exclusives for that. We got a bunch of fun new stuff for that as well.
I'm going to be debuting a new cosplay too. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And also feel free to check out Isabella.Amadala on all platforms, Instagram.
Yeah. So TikTok. I do a lot of like cosplay stuff and fashion stuff. Last month, I started sharing dressing like certain Star Wars characters. So it's kind of like Disney Bounds, if you're familiar with that. But it's kind of like grabbing clothes from my closet, like things I already own, and putting together looks inspired by certain characters. And that's been a lot of fun. So that's like kind of taken over my socials is like kind of what I've really been focusing on. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I love fashion. I love cosplaying. So yeah, that's been a lot of fun. And yeah, I have a new Padme cosplay coming. So I'm doing her blue Tatooine midriff dress. So I'm really excited about that. And what else?
I mean, we got a ton of stuff, but I mean, that's it. And besides that, I guess check out our podcast, Punch It Chewie podcast. We're on every week. New episodes out every Wednesday, and we would actually love to have you guys on as well.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I would be honored. That would be awesome.
Yes, it would be.
And
Yeah.
I just want to say again, the pins are absolutely incredible. I see them all over Instagram.
Oh,
And I was
thank
actually,
you.
I was going to lead by example. I pulled up the shop and I was going to buy one and say, hey guys, I bought one, so go buy one too. But then now I'm browsing and like you guys have shirts on here that I want and stickers. So I'm going to buy one. I just need to figure out what it is first.
Oh,
So guys,
thank
please check that
you.
stuff out. It's really cool. So
Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate
but
it.
yes, I guess that's it. Thank you guys again for doing this. I'm going to close this out
Yeah.
here.
Thank you for having
thank you.
us.
Yes. We'd like to remind you guys to rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify, preferably 5 stars. Also, please subscribe because we're going to be here every single week and sometimes multiple times a week. We're going to be covering the Last of Us finale. Do you guys watch that? Oh, wait, Isabel, you just started it.
We just started.
We watched the first 2.
Yeah, first 2.
Yeah, so we will be talking about the finale this week. It's so good. It is like it's like I get chills thinking about it. It's really good. It's like one of the greatest TV shows in the past 10 years at least. So
amazing.
Definitely.
Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Star Wars Pod, and we also have a Discord community going on. So if that's something you're interested in, you can message us and we will get you in there. But that is all we got for you guys. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.